So my name's Shannon McGuire. I'm a physiotherapist here at Parkwood Institute, and I work on the Outpatient Acquired Brain Injury program. And I've worked with patients with brain injury for about the past 20 years of my career. Everything from concussion patients all the way to really severe brain injured patients.
Okay, so the first question for you is, how long have you known me? For how long have you known me?
So I've known you for maybe 2 years. I think we probably worked together almost 2 years.
2 years, yes.
Yeah.
Do you remember how long I was as an outpatient?
So probably just under 2 years, I think, as an outpatient.
Under 2 years.
Yeah, I think so. But I remember you from inpatients as well. Yeah, when you were seeing Melissa and Sarah.
The second question would be, what has my attitude been like since the beginning?
So I think your attitude has been extremely upbeat and positive right from the beginning. I remember specifically talking to your inpatient team about how much they enjoyed working with you because you were so, had such a good attitude, you tried so hard, you would do everything they asked for you, and I certainly found that translated to when you came to me in outpatients. So it didn't matter what I asked, you would always do it, you were always willing to try. Sometimes you needed to take more rest breaks than I was willing to give you, but you were always willing to do anything I asked you to, and if I challenge you to do something, whether it's get rid of the walker or try an exercise that was really hard, you were always up for it. Even if sometimes you were nervous, you still trusted me and were willing to do it.
Okay, thank you. And the third question, how has been the support from my family and most importantly, the support from my mom?
So it was easy to see your family as a huge support for you. You always had rides to come to therapy. Initially, your mom would come to your therapy appointments and watch and see what was going on, so she would see what we were doing so she could help you at home as well. You can certainly tell your mom is your prime support. She's always there, and what I love about your mom is her quiet strength. She doesn't always say very much, but when she speaks, I always listen to her. So she in very specific times would, ask me a question like, "What do we think about this, Shannon?" or "What do you think about that?" I remember having conversations with your mom about, you're helping him too much, actually. You need to do less for him. So, she was almost too much of a support at some points where, she was helping you so much that you needed to probably step up and do a bit more. But she totally was like, no problem. And so she was able to step back. I'm not sure, Juan, you were as happy about my talking to your mom about that, but for sure. And so she's always just whatever you need, your mom is there for you.
Yeah, my mom has been there every time. Like in the hospital on my side, sleeping in a chair.
Yeah.
That it came to one point that I have to tell her, okay, I don't want you. I don't want to see you here anymore.
Yeah.
Go home and take a rest.
I know. Yeah. I mean, you can tell she's devoted and will do anything that's required. But I think she finds, and most of the time finds, a really nice balance between support and giving you independence in terms of what you need. So she's not. She's not here every appointment.
Yes.
She drops you off. She checks in with me at the end and sees how you're doing and tries to make sure you're doing okay and finds out what the next steps are.
Like actually, my grandma says something like, "Everything in excess is bad for you."
That's right.
So she has like a.
Yeah,
she knows how to control that balance.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, and I always remember your mom like really celebrating successes along the way. Like I remember in the pool when you first started swimming and how excited she was when she came in and watched, and her big smile. She was really excited when you started to do some of that stuff. Yeah,
okay.
So that was fun.
And
or running. Remember when you first started running? How
happy
she was? That was really fun.
Even myself, like I was feeling so excited when I started running because it's something that I haven't been able to do for a long time.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was a big step.
Okay, and the last question would be, would you say now that the attitude you face something with, as well as being spiritually strong, has an effect on you?
Huge. I see this all the time, and I often talk to patients about this idea of resilience and mindset. And so I will say to patients, look, how you think about your struggle will influence your struggle. So I sometimes use the example of a headache. If you have a headache of a 4 out of 10, you can say, my headache is only 4 out of 10 today, or you can say, I still have a headache of 4 out of 10. One is optimistic and looking on the bright side and is a more upbeat attitude, and the other one is more pessimistic and stuck in what's still bad. I sometimes say to patients that the two things they have to think about after a brain injury is, now what? If nothing ever changed, what would you do to make your life as rich and full and fulfilling as you could with what you could currently do at this moment? And the other important thing is not yet. So that's that idea of just because I can't do it now doesn't mean I'm not going to be able to do it in the future. And that maintaining hope and always striving for a goal. So I see patients, and I think that their attitude and approach often can be one of the strongest predictors of how they're going to do. You know, sometimes for sure there's still hard things that no matter, you can have the best possible attitude, but if the damage is too great, that makes it really challenging in terms of limiting your recovery. But I see people that sometimes do far better than I would have predicted, simply based on their attitude and their work ethic. Spiritually, I would say I see spirituality often giving people that comfort and that ability to accept some of the changes, and sometimes I see it where they have a community around them that can often be really supportive and helpful. So I think that's a piece of the resilience and acceptance and that puzzle that kind of goes together for patients. So I think the resilience and the mindset are the most important piece, but I think spirituality can be a piece of that.
And I know one thing that I used to tell my mom, because when you are in the hospital and the doctors they start doing the round at 7 a.m. in the morning. So I used to tell my mom, okay, by 7 a.m. in the morning I want to be already at least wash my face, brush my teeth, but I don't want to be like laying down in the bed like if I was dying.
Interesting. You want to present your best self, right? So the docs are I think that's and you know, what I find sometimes can be challenging to work with patients is the but I used to, I hate but, right? So you have to be able, brain injury is a long, hard, slow recovery. And if your only measure of success is, I want to be the exact same as I was before, it makes it really hard to be satisfied with the changes you make along the way and be excited by the changes you make along the way. You know, you're a good example when your running wasn't perfect. It wasn't that you were going to go for a jog for exercise, but the fact that you were actually running and it looked kind of like running for the first time, and the fact that you were like, yes, that's awesome, that's motivating. And motivation and success changes your brain. It keeps you excited, it keeps you practicing, it keeps you trying. And all of those things will influence your recovery and how the brain adapts to those types of challenges and changes. So I think it's really important.
You know, like many times, even though I'm after a surgery, I'm not able to do what I have been doing before. I try to, as I say, like in the morning, 7 a.m. to be up. Even though if I can't get up or something, just be up and just brush my teeth, wash my face, and be ready for the doctor.
And that's even like we see that in the difference between rehab and acute care. In acute care, you're often stay in the hospital gowns because you're doing tests and things like that. But in rehab, we get you in clothes, and that difference in just putting your clothes on instead of your pajamas or a gown really makes a difference in terms of your mindset. I don't know if you notice that as a patient when you get to rehab, we're like, you know, and we're like, you put your shoes on, we're not doing it for you, right? So there's that whole shift of acute care, and you know, that's what the role is in acute care. But in rehab, we're like, okay, we'll help you if you need it, but you try on your own first, and that's part of what makes you more independent.
That's what I try to do. Like in every surgery, that's what I have tried to do. Like be independent as much as I can. If I cannot do something, then I will ask my mom. Because actually, I don't like the nurses doing anything for me, like taking a shower or something like that. I ask my mom. And you're lucky you have such a strong support in your mom for sure. Okay, Chan. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Yeah.